The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Hot topics, food, fun, entertainment, and serious business. Live Las Vegas with Rikki Cheese.
Hello everybody, it's Live Las Vegas with Rikki Cheese. My special guest today is Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman here at the beautiful City Hall.
Isn't it fabulous here? Yes.
Of course, the beautiful mayor as well.
Oh.
So we're going to cover a lot of bases, but she said, really, Rikki, how many questions are you going to ask me? Because I've got like a ton of them. But we're going to start first with her vision for Las Vegas. When you first took office, of course, you had a grand plan, a plan that you and the former mayor.
Yes. Yes.
Have you achieved what you wanted to achieve in your first two terms?
Well, I think most of what I wanted to do was continue what Oscar had started and planned before the recession. And of course, the mallet, or whatever you want to say, passed to me in the depths of the recession. Right. So it was about surviving that first and getting ourselves back on track. But our passion had been from the beginning to bring Major League sports here. Right. And both he and I, as well as our whole family, are sports fanatics. Mm-hmm. And we've had some success, but also his other mantra was quality medical care and quality research and UNLV Medical School. So there's another. And then, of course, there was the safety issues, transportation, and the cultural base, to really enhance the cultural base. And as you may know, we have our wonderful Boneyard, our Mob Museum, our Natural History Museum, and we are in the throes of developing a new museum down here on Symphony Park.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about the Raiders effect.
Okay.
We had Derek Stevens from the Dion a couple of weeks ago.
Love that man.
He's amazing. You
yes.
know, his energy, being with him was like hanging out with you. And
well, you know what's great about him, though, I mean, you've lived here a long time as well. We have seen so many people announce, I'm going to do this, I'm going to build that, I'm going to start this. And so often nothing happens. But this was a man who said, I am going to go ahead and buy that courthouse. And he did it, and within months, that entire area was flattened. He's built an entertainment area as well. He's purchased the Las Vegas Club. I mean, this is a man who does what he says and has the highest regard from everybody. I mean, I just think he's fabulous, and he's really turned us around.
And he's got that whole block now, so I was
yes.
trying to get him to go on the record about what are your plans.
Oh, he better not tell you first.
The only thing he would tell me is that at least something should start moving before the end of the year.
Yes.
And talking to him, though, I thought, it's so typical Las Vegas. We expect everything to be done like this because
yes.
we build so quickly.
Yes.
Do you think it maybe raises expectations unfairly?
Well, you know, I think that's, as you've said, it's who and what we are. But I think Derek is a very wise man and will not do something before it's well planned. He's kept it really under wraps because I am the biggest snoop in this area, as you could well imagine. And I press all, even alone with him when I go to see him or he's in my office, just tell me, I won't say anything. But I'm not sure it's because he doesn't trust me. Yeah. He just maybe doesn't think, maybe he thinks that something's wired. And it well may be. We have people come in from all over the world to the mayor's office. Yes. And somebody could put in a little tape recorder there.
In this day and age, you never know. It's like,
isn't
I
it
left
the
my
truth?
phone. It just happened to be recording.
Right.
How did that happen? So let's talk about the Raiders. The whole valley is abuzz.
Yes.
Are you disappointed that the stadium wasn't down here, or does it really matter at this point?
It was probably the stupidest decision I've ever seen in this town. I've lived here. Oscar and I have lived here for over 50 years now. And what you want, first of all, is truth. You don't want a good old concept just doing things to do them because somebody thinks it's going to work better somewhere. The reality is the amount of money that can be saved by putting it at Cashman, the roadways, we don't have to pay more taxes somehow to fund what's going to happen, or reprioritize state highway road projects have to be reprioritized to get the money available to fix access, and there's nobody lives there. I mean, downtown we're going to have that light rail or multimodal type of transport from the airport by UNLV straight down Maryland to the east side of Cashman. So we are going to be moving tourists that way. It's already planned. It's already in environmental studies. We can move all the university people easily back and forth, their teams to play. And of course, that's just a piece of it. We already have 25,000 parking spaces. You are not going to see a crunch on a Sunday of a traffic jam as people leave to go back to Southern California or somewhere in California. The mild headache that I have is going to be enormous. When you look at that. But the roads come together, the I-15, 95, 515 comes together, and the savings already is probably around $300 million. We would have given the Raiders the Cashman site. They just spent $77 million. They didn't have to pay at all. And as you know, Dressel Road, it has to be redesigned. We have to widen the I-15, to say nothing of the access going off the 15 to the 215, both directions. It's just, I can't believe the bad choice this has resulted in to me. I love that the Raiders are coming, so I don't care if I've said if it's on Mount Potosi where the stadium is, because we really want the Raiders.
Right. And
this is great for the whole community.
Right.
But when I think of somehow this decision was made for that site, it is not a wise decision.
let's talk about the UNLV School of Medicine, which is right down
Oh,
here in your neck of the woods. Very, very exciting project. We had Dr. Barbara Atkinson on our show a couple
Isn't she
weeks ago.
phenomenal woman?
I didn't really know a lot about the project, and by the time I was finished talking to her, I was just like ready to go screaming down the street going, this is like the greatest thing that ever happened.
Isn't she fabulous?
Yeah, but how long has this been in the works?
Well, going back to the days of Oscar taking office in '99, talking about quality medical care and research. There's not a medical center that doesn't have ongoing research. There has to be training, there has to be residency, there's so much more, and it's just finally plodding along, calling out, getting people involved. It's happened, and she has been such an inspiration because of the fact this first class that's coming online this summer, fully paid 4 years for each of those students, which is an incredible savings to those students, but also she was able to pick the best of the best to go into that class. The architectural design on that facility that's going there on Shadow Lane is beautiful. It's right opposite Valley Hospital, but you know that whole area really is a medical district. Councilwoman Tarkanian's been working on that for her entire career too, because actually in 2002 the medical district was declared. The anchor there, of course, is the public hospital, UMC. And so to have all of that together, plus the UNLV School of Dentistry, nursing, I mean, there's so many parts to it that just make it correct. And then right out this window here, we have the Cleveland Clinic presence with the Lou Ruvo Institute for Brain Health, which will, again, tie more of the medical into this area of the downtown. So it's booming here. I mean, people are coming in looking at office space, and we're looking at ways to make sure that we've done the right concepts in our road design, most importantly, how we're going to be moving people easily. And fortunately or unfortunately, right now, Project Neon is driving us all to drink, as every day you wake up and you think, oh my gosh, this was opened yesterday. Where did that thing come from?
Well, that was me and John. John Stiles, our owner of the station. We live up by Jones 95. 3 construction zones on the way to get here. It's like a 15-minute ride. It took like 40 minutes. But I remember when they were widening US 95, and remember what a nightmare that was. And then when it was open, I remember driving on it for the first time going,
yes, it was worth it. I mean, we just really, even though you don't believe it's ever going to end, we always ask all of our residents and tourists, be patient, it will go away eventually. But it really is going to be phenomenal as they have more flyovers. And it is an inconvenience. And I just, on the way to work this morning, saw that they're going to be closing for a week. West Charleston, I'm thinking, great, how do people get to the hospitals? What are we airlifting them in? So it's going to be interesting.
Finding the back roads.
Yes, but they've closed most of them.
Exactly.
Yes.
One of the things that's so unique about the city of Las Vegas, and I always explain it to new people, is that we've always grown, and sometimes our planning hasn't been the best. So the boundaries of the city of Las Vegas are really unique.
Yes.
Even that little part that I live in, I've got North Las Vegas 1 street here and Clark County 1 street here, and so you've got the city in. But sometimes I wonder if that actually works, because let's say when it comes to metro and fire safety, there are patrol units everywhere. I mean, this is really a
I think we
city.
share. No, we really try to share. I know because so many of the municipalities have their own law enforcement, they have their own fire, but we do, and who's ever closest is to respond.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a key thing. I remember back in the day when Las Vegas had an opportunity, as it was moving forward, to extend the boundaries all the way to the border for the city.
Right.
And of course, at that time, the city leaders didn't want to pay the sewer costs or whatever. So all of a sudden there now we have the county, but we have pockets of county in the city.
Right.
We also have pockets like where Palace Station is, where Citibank is, that are in the city,
right,
even though really generally the borderline of county from Las Vegas is Sahara.
Right.
And, so many of the areas here, way even down in the southwest, the address on your mailbox is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
So people frequently will come up and say to me, I voted for you, Mayor, you're doing a great job. And I say, where do you live? Oh, I live in Southern Highlands. And I think, Or I'm up in Henderson. I think, thank you for voting for me, please do it again.
It just shows the love that they have for you. Right?
No, it shows I have no idea what this county business is, or who we are, or where we are. And of course, the sign "Welcome to Las Vegas" is as you come in from that ride in from California.
Well, isn't that part too of the world view of Las Vegas? Because nobody knows about Clark County.
No.
When we meet people, everything in this whole valley is Las Vegas.
Without question.
Yeah.
All Southern Nevada is Las Vegas, and
Right.
that's the name that really is around the world, is
Right.
the tourist and convention center. Really throughout the country. I mean, when you want to book a convention, there is nowhere else that I know of in any community where you have a convention center, well, first of all, where you have an airport 10 minutes away from 155,000 hotel rooms, much less where you have a convention center that is growing, continues to meet the needs, but is also right in the heart and about 10-15 minutes from the airport. So all of this, as we go out and promote tourism and conventions, it's incredible. It's in China, they know, and they know it in Japan, they know it in Norway, they know it everywhere. The name Las Vegas means fun,
Right.
have a great time, excitement, but it also means great convention opportunities there, and a close-knit area in, most of the time, perfect weather.
Like today.
And great outdoor activities.
yes.
As our towns change. How many years have you lived here?
I'm from here. I was born in New York, but I was actually raised here. So I've watched, when I was reading some stuff about you, 'cause I always think I know everything about somebody if I've known them for a while, then you find out all this new stuff. When you and Oscar moved here, this was the Dust Bowl. There was nothing happening. It
No,
was just all
less than 100,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the convention business, I mean, if there was any, it was minimal. And so to have gained the identity of who and what we are. But when you look at it, I mean, it's such an exciting place because most people do think, I'm going to go there and just have a good time. But in the days when you were being raised here and we first came here, oh my goodness, that sounds so awful. When you were first a baby here and we came here, the reality was Las Vegas, with its own sense of identity, which was gaming. Now gaming's everywhere, so there's no uniqueness. And everything that supported the town came from the gaming tables. Now it's more about food and buying options and outdoor activities that really, when you start to look at budgets and you look at income coming into the city, it's from all these ancillary pieces, almost as strong as the gaming, because you can game anywhere.
Well, when I first started reporting, I just noticed over time, more and more people were saying, well, why did you come? I came to go shopping. And somebody had told me that when I was a kid, that people come here to go shopping, or I love the restaurants here. When back in the day, the RJ, like the favorite Mexican restaurant was Taco Bell, when they used to do the best stuff. But now you've got all these chefs from all around the world, and they've got their franchises here, and it's so exciting. But one of the things, I'm a big fan of downtown. I
know you are, Rikki, and that's why we love you so.
Well, I'm Fremont Street. That was like it. I went to Rancho. It was like right down the street. So my mother used to come and take me to lunch there to watch how the downtown area has kind of crashed for a while, and how has the resurgence of downtown, their roommates, gaming revenues, all this excitement. Not just Derek Stevens, but you had
everybody. Oh, and you have the Plaza, and you have the Boyd Group. They just put in $60 million of renovation there. They're considered the 9th Hawaiian island, as you know, but the Boyd Group has been phenomenal for us. But when you look at the energy, it's been 2 years in a row the largest growth in gaming in the entire state. It's been downtown, and this past year, we had the highest occupancy percentage in our hotels downtown. So, but one of the things, I consider our premium outdoor mall here that has grown now, I don't even know how many stores are there. They are packed. Our buses, our public buses, drop off daily more than 1,200 visitors daily. And so with the onset and the building of the World Market Center, which was second to happen, when we have those groups in town, we have a market twice a year for the World Market, which is wholesale furniture as well as accessories. Plus they do other things. They have a small convention space and lease out. But when you consider what that has done, we are trying to be very proactive and providing a circulator. It's going to be much like is in Miami,
sort of like
and it's
like a
shuttle, like the type of shuttle you have at the airport when you've parked off campus there. They take you, you jump on, throw your somewhere and jump on and jump off. Well, that's the concept of what we're going to do to connect everybody on an ongoing basis so they stay in the hotels, maybe have a show going on at the World Market, or have come in here for a 5-day assessment of their loved one or their hated one, whomever, at the Cleveland Clinic, Lou Ruvo Institute, but also to take advantage of all of those who come in here. Outdoor mall shopping and discount shopping is the highest it's ever been in this country, because I'm sure a lot of it has to do with online purchasing, but they want even what's great about online shopping is you can look at it, you can't feel it, you can't try it on, you can't be with it. You just look at it, you buy it. It's like a book is fine because that's not going to change. But so many other things, you put a special value on it. And I know that I've ordered things, whether it's been a shoe or a jacket or something online, and have had to return it because once I've gotten it, I don't like the feel of the material. But these outlet malls, oh my gosh. And the people, when you walk there or you go to the Cheesecake Factory, they're not walking out with one something. They've just got bag loads, and that's how we've learned that the recession really is behind us, fortunately.
One of the things I've seen, the Smith Center is a good example, the mall is a good example too, where these projects are bringing people in from the suburbs. Where before, like for a while, it was getting to the point where I can stay at Red Rock Casino. There's no reason for me to have to come all the way downtown. But the cultural centers, as you mentioned, and the things that are happening on like Fremont East and the bars and the clubs and all these different venues that are happening, it's making locals who before didn't want to come downtown get in their cars and
come on down. And plus, we're going to be building a new garage here, so hopefully with the garages that are already in place, but the new ones that are going to be built, they'll leave their car there. We have bike share, so they can hop on a bike and move it from one place and leave it and pick up another one. Or our paths, we're widening streets, we're making streetscapes that are so beautiful with trees and benches, and we've already replaced all the lighting. But I mean, there's so much more excitement down here. We find the millennials, even more particularly, they throng
I was
to
going to go with
this.
that because I can see poor Jake Bradkey, you're a public information officer over there, kind of going, okay, Rikki, you've been here for like 40 minutes. We got to wrap this up. I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my last thing. I've just noticed, and I'm sure you know this, that the new people who are coming in, not to diss the Strip, but it just seems that the millennials, they come downtown.
Well, it's reasonable because they're used to the action of this. And when you are, and believe me, the resort corridor is where 95% of the visitors stay, and they will continue to stay, and they're beautiful hotels with great entertainment, high-end shopping. But the younger people that are coming in, they don't want to have to walk a half mile from place to place. And down here, when they get down here, and there's plenty of public transportation already in place, to say nothing of Uber and Lyft. But when they get down here, they love the availability of one place right next to another. So whether or not they go get a hamburger at this place or potato pancakes or whatever, then they'll go next door and go to a bar, or they may go to a shop, or they'll go to the Container Park. And it's always changing, and the Fremont Street experience has become electrified with great bands and things. And of course we have now, I think we have solid control on our buskers, our street performers. I mean, there will always be those that push the envelope, which really is very distasteful to all of us. But I think we're really, as far as safety and security, except, you know, the world has a lot of angry people in it today. And whether they're angry in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, or in Seattle, Washington, or New York City, they are angry, and we have our share.
You know, and we're a growing city, we're a big city, and I think just as a native growing up here, people always talk, oh, safer when the mob ran the place. Well, we were a little bitty city then. There wasn't a whole lot
when we
going
came
on.
here, we never locked the front door. I could leave my key in the car, and the car running, and never had to worry. The other thing that was so great about that time was every hotel was individually owned.
Yes.
And what that meant was huge deals for everybody. 50 cents a drink in a lounge to hear great entertainers, Frankie Lane, Tony Martin, those entertainers. And then the big shows, the showgirls, they're gone. Except for the two I allow Oscar to have, walking around with him with his Bombay Sapphire. I mean, all the showgirls, that's what we're known for. And we're trying to open a showgirl costume museum downtown as well, which will preserve what that was. But the advantage of this competition, hotel to hotel, you just got a better deal at each place, and it was such fun because every hotel had a top name entertainer, whether it was Judy Garland, Danny Kaye, I mean, these great names of yore. And now, I mean, you know, they've done wonderful things, but this is all about the stockholder. And so our big conglomerate hotel groupings, they're worried about making the money to pay their stockholders, which are all over the world. Well, and so it's different.
I became a big fan of Derek's because he reminds me of that time.
Yes,
where you
absolutely.
Had, you know, Benny Binion, and you had Jackie Gone, and you had Steve Wynn when he was a baby, just coming up. But you had individual guys, or even the Boyd family, individual groups.
Yes.
And it wasn't corporate.
Yeah.
You know, so every property was unique.
Well, and that's the whole thing, and there's one person or one or two people at the top, they make a decision, you don't have to wait, you don't have to go through the pathway, and let me tell you also, these are very generous people.
Yes.
To our community. We have one thing you didn't mention, and hopefully you'll have me back, but I really want to talk about, which is, it's really international, is the homeless population.
Yes.
And the issues, but we are really taking a hold of this. We've been doing it for a long time. We have reached functional zero, which means we have housing for every single veteran out there. We reached that 2 years ago.
Right.
But the state needs to do more, the leadership needs to do much more in taking care of those who have mental problems. And it spills out, and then we have those we're working even now, we are about to go into, which I've been asking for over a year and a half. Look, we're not beating them the way that we say, we're not going to work with you because you won't come in.
Right.
Now we're looking at a way, let's make a safe zone. Let's see if we can get those with the addiction and alcohol problems in to a safe area that we can monitor, which helps us economically. It clears the streets because they'll want to be in and be safe. And then our hopes is if we have them in a proper venue with proper care, that they'll think, you know what, I can do something. I'm going to go to the next step and go in for the counseling and physical, making sure that get the pathway to getting off of whatever I'm addicted to. So there's a lot to talk about.
And see, I'm so glad you said, you heard her, right? You heard her say that she's going to come back, right? Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Rikki. You've done great. No, it's great. It's
Yes.
wonderful. It's an exciting time to be alive.
Isn't it?
And really to hear from the people that are out there, whether they're just doing their best to hold on to the job they have, or whether they've gotten themselves somehow into some leadership role. It's a great time to be alive.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks.
And thank you for joining us on Live Las Vegas with Rikki Cheese. She said she's coming back. You heard it here. See you next week.